the intellectual giant of Megyn Kelly.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls.
Barely legal? No. 15 is not barely legal, Megan. 15 is illegal, actually. Like, very much so. And for the record, I hate the counters on this shit because people will be like, well, actually, what about Romeo and Juliet laws? And it's like, yeah, okay. Romeo and Juliet laws are so that people that are in the age range that started dating before one of the two people actually became 18 years old, so they don't like unnecessarily go to prison, okay? That's not for like a 50-year-old to try and date a 15-year-old. That's for, you know, a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old dating, and then one party becomes 18 and the other one is 17. That's what Romeo and Juliet laws are for. So I don't know why you're running around with this like laminated card of Romeo and Juliet statutes in every state.
And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn. Now they call it child sexual abuse material on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was under 10, I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. Yeah. You know, it's just whatever.
Thank you. That's cool. That's a cool, thank you. There's a distinction between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. That's insane, man. The only people who are arguing for this are people who get off on having power over someone or have been convinced that they should want to be controlled. They like being able to be in control. I mean, yeah. Okay, you probably have a daughter or a child that is that age, right? How would you feel if Jeffrey Epstein was trying to, and was actually moving her around the world without her consent, because she is incapable of consenting, and having sex with her, raping her? Because that's what it is. It's not devoid of consent, so it is rape. Like, do you think it's appropriate? Megyn Kelly defending pedophilia before GTA 6 was not on my timeline. I mean, if you know how Republicans operate, then you know that it's not. Yeah, what makes it extra gross is Megyn Kelly's a preteen daughter. Are you okay with Donald Trump having sex with yardlers or other people's sacrifice? That's crazy that she literally has a daughter that is at the same. I dead no hella predators, but I still hang with them just to see how their mind work. This is that tweet is so funny. I can't believe we just snapped into something humorous in a not so humorous situation, but I don't know. Controversial opinion, guys. But I think we should keep the social stigma around pedophilia. And before people go, actually, it's a phebophilia, the argument that you're presenting, as I always like to say, is that you think some minors are fuckable. Because that's what you're saying. When you say, actually, it's a phebophilia, it's not a baby, you're just parsing through. Like, technically, even if you are correct in terms of like the designation between like children versus preteens, the argument that you're presenting is that you find some minors, some kids, to be sexually attractive, and you are trying to justify having sex with them, rape. It's insane. Like you're basically saying like there's a different type of pedophilia that I think is fine, which, you know, may be controversial take. Yeah, before people say classic John Marco joke, by the way, I've been saying that for years. Okay, he has a really good joke about this for sure. In all of my many years of duking it out in the marketplace with debate lords, I've often used this counter argument over and over again. The distinction only matters in the realm of psychopathology. Yeah. It's black-pilled Andrew Fogel. I can't believe I spent like 10 years studying the immortal science of dialectical materialism only to find out that the central truth of American politics is that we are governed by demonic pedophile cabal. What if all the authoritarian purges in China are just protecting these people from pedophile-occupied government? Pog. It's not Zog. It turns out it's Pog. That's the one unifying factor, it seems. These guys, regardless of their ideological leanings or their worldview or their, you know, background, religious beliefs, it's actually Pog. They are united in the one singular thing. Turns out the conspiracy theorists were right. That these guys all just find themselves captivated by the allure of this very famous pedophile sex trafficker. What an insane moment, dude.